Now, I know what you guys are probably thinking.
So you're trying out Among Us now, huh? Why? Well, due to the fact that Among Us has been, exploding lately, I've been really, let's just say extremely interested in Among Us.
Okay, well, that and the fact that I only have 5 subscribers. 6, 7, 7.
Hey, you know where White is?
I think I saw him near storage.
Well, right next to there. You might as well check on I.
7.
White acting sus.
I agree.
The first task on the launch pad is Run Diagnosis. This is one of those tasks that play in the background. Keep that in mind and plan accordingly. The second task is Fuel Stations. Keep in mind that this task is one that makes the taskbar go up and does not have a part 2, so keep that in mind. Now, here's the Medbay Scan task. I don't think that I need to introduce it to anyone. However, the interesting thing about it on Mira HQ is where it is. It's only a short distance away from the starting area, meaning that if you wanted to prove to your fellow crewmates that you're an innocent, this is the most efficient and easy way to do it. However, keep in mind that it takes 9 seconds to complete the task, and that's also near a vent. So keep that in mind and plan accordingly. Alrighty, there's 2 tasks unique to laboratory. The first task is Assemble Artifact. It basically has you build a crystal from the ground up. Keep in mind that raises the task meter. The second task is Sort Samples. It basically has you sort different fossils and crystals and such into categories that define them. So keep that in mind. There's 3 total tasks in Reactor. First, there's Divert Power to Blank. There's the number count where you select numbers in this numerical order. And of course, there's the memory puzzle. We won't be finishing it because it's a common task that can be found in other maps. However, it's basically just
a memory puzzle. In electrical, there's only one task that you have to do. Now, there's only one task in electrical in this map. And for those of you who are terrified of being in electrical for more than 15 seconds, there's an upside here. The area where electrical is stationed is around a very populated area, meaning that you would most likely be safe. In the admin room, there's the punch in numbers task. Not to be confused with the swipe card task, the punch in numbers task have you punch in numbers from the thing. And to all you memers, yes, it's way more relatively easy than that swipe card task.
in the cafeteria. There's a grand total of 1 unique task, and that would be the vending machine task right here. What you are essentially doing in the vent is getting some items that were requested by whoever. How this helps you defend of alien parasites, I have no idea. There's also the trash task, but since it's not unique to Mira HQ or anywhere near as useful as trash on other maps, we won't be discussing it.
There's a total of 1 task in storage. Not 1 unique task, not 1 common task, but 1 task. It's basically, you find the watering can, you click the watering can. It's really simple and easy to do, but if you don't know what to look for, it can be a bit hard. In the balcony, the unique task is the measure weather task. It's not a hard one, but you have to wait the full 5 seconds to complete it, otherwise it won't finish. There's also the Destroy Asteroids task, and it's not unique and you all know it. Don't expect me to cover it. Alright, so now that we figured out where all the unique tasks are, let's talk about the pros and cons for crewmate. First up on pros is that the medbay scan placement is perfect. Seriously, I don't think that there's any map which has better medbay scan placement. It's literally right after the point where you finish the task, so you can immediately do it right after you finish whatever's on the launch pad, which only takes seconds, and this allows you to prove your innocence to it. There is, however, a downside to this, but we'll be discussing this on the imposter side. Next up, we got communications. Now, communications is your medbay scans, your admins, your security cameras, all of that stuff. Wait, did I say medbay scans? Forget. The point is, it's just the point is communications is your security cameras and your admins, but it's different because it's security is an admin and all of that. Basically, communication differs from security and admin by having little sensors around the map, meaning that you can't constantly see where everybody is, but you can tell the general location. It will say like southwest corner or northwest corner or something like that. So if someone vents from across the map, you will know when you see it. And this also means that imposters have to keep an eye on this place because crewmates will be starting abusing it like crazy. And they can use that as their excuse too. Another great advantage to the map is a lot of the task placement. There's like a lot of tasks that if you complete the first part of 2-parters, there will be a lot of tasks in the same area. Now, you may be thinking, but wait, isn't that a bad thing because then the imposters can find you? Well, yes, but actually no. Because when you're in the same area, that means that a lot of people will see you in that area. And that includes crewmates. And if they see you doing a bunch of tasks in a single area, they'll be like, yeah, this guy's probably safe. And imposters will know that a lot of people frequently go that place. So if someone dies there, there's gonna immediately be a lot of eyes and ears on it. So yeah, the tasks are all in the same place are a good thing, and so that's an advantage. Yeah. And of course, one of the best parts is that we have very, very, very few download and upload tasks. Now, I'm not complaining about the inclusion of download and upload tasks in the game. They're fine. But if you're looking for pros and cons on a map, the exclusion of download and upload times is very important simply because it's a very long and very fixed time limit. At least with the asteroids task, you can, even if it takes a little bit longer than most other tasks, you can easily do that in about like a second or 30 seconds if you're good enough. With download and upload tasks, you just have to wait. And you have to wait for a while in comparison to all the other tasks. So the fact that it only has like one 2-parter download upload task is a good thing considering that other maps have way more common. And yeah, that basically covers all of the pros. Let's move on to the cons. First up on comms, communication is very unclear. Now, I'm not saying that communication is bad. As I said, it's basically the security and admin of the map. However, the thing how it tells you where certain players are is like northwest corner, southwest corner, something corner. If you don't know exactly how to tell it on a map, it can get very confusing very quickly. It's effective if you know how to use it, but if you don't know how to use it, which most of you probably don't, then you will end up probably making it worse. So yeah. Next up on cons, you remember how I said earlier that there was a downside to medbay? Yeah, this is it. In medbay, sure, you get early scan placements, and you know who is liable to scan. And since it's literally on the way, sure, you can pass it, but there is practically no reason to not do it unless you don't have medbay scan. Well, the downside is that an imposter could easily notice that people are keeping track of each other, of who's innocent and who's not, and who medbay scanned and who didn't. Meaning that the imposter could keep that. Okay, so since they know that these people are innocent, the more of the innocent people there are, the less of a chance that they're going to be sussing someone out who's not me. So I have to start killing them. And basically, that is the problem. That presents an easy opportunity. This can be circumvented by simply keeping an eye on each other, traveling groups, but still a problem that rises, and it still needs to be acknowledged. Next up on cons is that all the tasks that are possible to line up in a general area, meaning that a lot of crewmates are going to be in the same place, means that if an imposter kills a player while they're not in that area, it will be a long, long time before that body is found. And the more the time that the body is found, before the body is found, the more chances that the imposter have to show up with the crewmates, earn trust, and make up alibis. And which is something that you generally want to prevent if you're a crewmate. So that's also a con. And yeah, that basically covers all our pros and cons. And now, ladies and gents, let's move on to the moment that we've all been waiting for. The imposters. When you join in Mira HQ as the imposter, when you first check the sabotage screen, your first thought may be, oh no, where are the doors?
But do not worry, it is not that bad.
Because the developers of this game knew that for every change they made, they had to make a trade-off. Now, you may be thinking, oh, the vents lead to like 1 or 2 locations. Wrong. The vents on this map can lead to literally anywhere. Meaning that you could travel from one side of the map to the other in a blink of an eye.
Now, other than the amazing vents, what about the medbay scan disadvantages for the crewmates and the medbay scan advantages for the imposters?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I may have mentioned it on the pros and cons list, but I didn't really go in depth about it, which is what I will be doing here on the imposter side. Now, other maps have medbay scans that are more or less close to the starting area, but since you don't have to travel near them, it's not really something that everybody hops on. It's usually something only a couple people do. So a couple people at the beginning may do it in lab in Polis, and a couple people at the beginning may do it in Scaled. Usually not ever in Scaled. But since it's so abundant and easy to use in Mira HQ, everybody just hops on the train of doing the medbay scan early because there's really not many reasons why to. You get a mass population of your crew, confirmed that innocence and all that stuff. It's not, however, a complete downside. Game Theory actually made a video with points explaining why it is.
For example, let's say that you're a crewmate in a game.
Let's say that there are a number of crewmates that you know are innocent.
And then there's some who you don't know if they're innocent or not. In that situation, what is the best choice on your part? In that situation, the best course of action is to take the people who you know are safe and separate them from the people who you know are suspicious. In Among Us terms, this means clearing as many people as possible so that the people who you do end up voting out end up having a high probability of being the imposter. However, the way that the imposter would make the situation into their benefit would be that they would be trying to kill all the people who are confirmed to be safe, because that means that the people who are left are the people who are the most suspicious, making it harder and harder for you to accurately discern who the imposter is out of a crowd of people who seem like they could be the murderer.
Which is an ideal situation for the imposters because they can very well deflect blame and manipulate the situation.
So while the easily and more commonly used medbay scan is an advantage in some ways, to the imposters, it could also just be a casting call of future victims. So if you're the imposter, make sure to keep that in mind. And yeah, that's about everything I can cover on this map. There's a couple of small details that you can take advantage of, like the fact that you can cross the area over in reactor and it's not impassable. So if someone kills on the other side, you can quickly walk over there and report it. So there's a plus.
But in general, that's everything I can cover. Now this is typically the part of the video where most YouTubers are like, oh, it'd be really cool if you would like, comment, and subscribe. But here's the thing, that has been repeated several times, done by several creators, and has been done so many times that's not even functional or effective. It's just repetitive. So instead, we're going to do something different. I'm now asking all of you to punch me in the face. You sure? Absolutely. That's pretty funny. Oh, you guys thought I was joking? Go ahead, type this comment into the comments section. Don't just stand there, do it!
Just do it!
Or else I will murder you in your sleep. Gosh darn it.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Ha! That's what you get for not checking the pinned comment under this video and watching this video assuming that it'd be the same as before. It is clear that I've duped you in this super interesting and clever way.
Unless you had the foresight to look at the length of the previous video compared to the length of this one. In which case I just sound stupid. But hey guys, it's been a while. So, a short little explanation as to why I've been gone. First, I used to see YouTube as a hobby, and it still kind of is, and not as a responsibility, so I didn't really treat it with much importance. This is great for preventing me from stressing out over YouTube, and pretty darn terrible for making sure that I actually keep up with it. By now, I've made a calendar for when I'll be releasing things and try to make them as smart goals as possible, so I should be able to make videos more efficiently from now on. Second, I would get bored making a video and just move on to the next one. So originally I meant to upload this ReUpload when I saw the terrible aspect ratio on the original. But I got bored of it and started working on the next project. But on the topic of future projects, I figure it's time that you guys got a tease of the next video. I had intended to release it when this topic was still relevant. Also, I'm not skipping out on the Finn video that the vote resulted in, it's still in production. And hey, I have an Instagram that I post more frequently in, and a Discord that I made for this channel. Please check both, but especially the Discord. I value you and being able to interact with all of you, and my Discord server helps to bridge that gap. So yeah.